did you just say?
The Marvel Cinematic Universe is constantly evolving, but there are a few storylines fans want more than anything. Venom finally crossing into Spider-Man's web would be a hellraiser and even more jaw-dropping. Ultron possibly re-emerging from the ashes. With Spider-Man 4 on the horizon, we're being teased with the possibility it could rewrite everything we thought we knew about hero, villain, and anti-hero dynamics. Will Eddie Brock's symbiote prove to be an ally or an adversary? How would Ultron, long thought defeated, return in a universe that has changed so much since his defining moment? In this video, we're digging into the evidence, whispers, and leaks, like tracking producer hit, comic book history, and MCU's post-Secret Wars trajectory, to see whether Venom's arrival is finally coming officially, and whether Ultron's return could be the twist that shakes Spider-Man's world. Let's get down to business without wasting any time. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Eyes, lungs, pancreas.
Venom's MCU arrival. The idea of Venom stepping into the MCU has long been a fantasy for fans, and thanks to Spider-Man No Way Home, a subtle bridge was built. In that film's post-credit scene, Eddie Brock, played by Tom Hardy, is seen in a bar, disoriented and haunted, with faint signs that a fragment of the symbiote remained tethered between. That glimpse did more than tease a crossover. It dropped a narrative breadcrumb, suggesting the symbiote's presence might already straddle MCU continuity. Tom Hardy has long signaled both his interest and cautious optimism in bridging Venom into Spider-Man's universe in interviews. He's admitted that conversations about integrating Venom with Spider-Man in the MCU have gone further than fans know. He said, "They got as close as I could imagine getting to a proper crossover." Intriguingly, speculation is growing that Sony and Marvel may opt not to bring Eddie Brock immediately into the MCU as Venom, but instead use a transitional host. One compelling theory gaining traction is that Matt Gargan, known in the comics as Scorpion, may become the first true MCU Venom. Michael Mando is confirmed to reprise his role as Scorpion in Spider-Man. Speculation builds that Gargan could discover the leftover symbiote fragment and bond with it, triggering his transformation into Venom and providing Marvel with a villainous host already familiar to fans. This route has one major advantage. It lets Marvel and Sony maintain the moral tone of Sony's Venom, while handing the darker version to a fresh vessel. What would a Venom crossover really mean to MCU and Sony? It adds a potent anti-hero/foe who can operate in morally gray zone, injecting complexity to future Spidey arc. Venom's arrival could be the missing link that ties together mutant mythology, AI narratives, and darker superhero politics. From Sony's standpoint, this allows their flagship anti-hero to cross into the MCU, coexisting or interacting with Marvel's A-list. Past tensions regarding rights holding and brand control would have to be negotiated with precise contractual terms. For Sony's Spider-Man universe, SSU, has historically operated in parallel, referencing elements of Spider-Man and Venom, but never fully integrated. This crossover could also be a springboard for Avengers, Secret Wars, or multiversal state. Some analysts already linked Venom, The Last Dance, and Spider-Man 4 as stepping stone to Avengers 6, while Venom's symbiote power and multiversal potential may be leveraged. Set photos and social media leaks have added fuel to the fire. A Spider-Man 4 set image circulated online with lighting and staging that some fans argue subtly evoke Venom's silhouette. Meanwhile, Mando has teased connections between Scorpion and symbiote mythology in cryptic social media posts. Insider outlets, like The Direct, have suggested the symbiote storyline in Spider-Man 4 won't be superficial. They claim Scorpion may don the Venom symbiote during the movie, setting up a full black suit saga. Summing up, the MCU's symbiote seed left behind in No Way Home is no longer a narrative tease. It's a promise. With Marvel and Sony potentially collaborating on crossover architect, we may finally see Venom enter the MCU, not as a cameo, as a key player, being a darker mirror to Spider-Man, a wild card and multiversal scheme, and a bridge formally merges two worlds.
Why?
Unexpected motion has caused the deterioration to escalate.
How do we get in there?
Spider-Man 4 production and cast news. Right from the start, Spider-Man 4 is shaping up to be one of Marvel's most ambitious, officially titled Spider-Man New Day. It's set to swing into theaters on July 31st, 2026. As part of Marvel Phase, set photos and media reports show that filming has already begun in Glasgow, the UK, before moving on to studio. Production recently halted temporarily when Tom Holland suffered a mild concussion during a stunt at Leavesden Studio. Fortunately, the injury was minor, and filming is expected to resume. According to IGN and Games Radar, filming was originally scheduled to begin in early 2025, but suffered several production pauses. reportedly due to strike-related delays and scheduling conflicts with Tom Holland's Apple TV Plus series The Crowded Room. Despite the setback, sources close to Marvel confirmed that cameras finally started rolling in Glasgow, Scotland, which will once again double as a grittier, snow-covered New York City. Some sequences were also scouted for Prague and Toronto, reflecting Marvel's renewed focus on creating a darker, more grounded urban tone reminiscent of Spider-Man 2, rather than the multiverse-heavy spectacle of No Way Home. As for the cast, Brand New Day sees the trio return. Tom Holland reprising his role as Peter Parker, Zendaya back as MJ after her brief memory at the end of No Way Home, and Jacob Batalon returning as Ned Lee. Though rumors suggest Ned's relationship with Peter will be strained as he grapples with half-remembered fragments of their erased friendship. Early set photos show the three filming emotional sequence in dimly lit apartment, implying the film will rebuild their dynamic from scratch while hinting that MJ might slowly regain her memories of Peter. New additions have made the cast list even more interesting. Jon Bernthal officially joins as Frank Castle / The Punisher, crossing over from Daredevil Born Again. His inclusion marks the first time a major street-level anti-hero will share the screen with Spider-Man in the MCU, setting up moral tension as Punisher's brutal methods clash with Peter's more idealistic sense of justice. Another buzzworthy addition is Sadie Sink, best known for Stranger Things. While her role hasn't been officially confirmed, insider leaks suggest she'll play a new supporter tied to Peter's college life, possibly Gwen Stacy, in an alternate or even Felicia Hardy / Black Cat. Regardless, Sink's inclusion signals Marvel's intent to bridge younger audiences with older fans. Fresh, emotional, Liza Colon-Zayas has also been spotted on set and is rumored to portray a new NYPD captain under Matt Murdock, adding another grounded layer to the growing street-level side of the MCU. Production is also bolstering behind the scenes. Alistair Williams has been contracted as special effects super behind the camera. John Watts, director of the previous Spidey trilogy, has stepped aside, with Destin Daniel Cretton reportedly taking the task. Destin's darker writing style aligns perfectly with the rumored tone of Brand New Day, which is said to lean more into psychological tension and noir-like storytelling to industry scoops. Kevin Feige wanted to reset Spider-Man's world after the multiverse chaos, returning Peter to the heart of the Marvel New York City, surrounded by grounded threats, personal loss, and moral dilemmas, rather than cosmic villains. Production insiders also note that VFX teams from Digital Domain and Weta FX have been attached months and began, which strongly suggests larger-scale set pieces are planned, possibly tying into the mysterious symbiote tease left behind in No Way Home's post-credits. So far, the MCU's creative heads have remained tight-lipped about plot details, but leaked call sheets and fan theory point toward a storyline set roughly 2 years after No Way Home, with Peter struggling to balance college life, crime fight, and the looming presence of new underworld players. The film's darker tone crossovers with Daredevil and Punisher, and rumored connections to Kingpin and Scorpion, hint that Spider-Man 4 may finally deliver the street-level MCU film fans have been craving.
Explain my evil plan.
Ultron surprising return. James Spader's Ultron, the catastrophic AI who once threatened global extinction, is now confirmed to return in the upcoming Vision, reportedly titled Vision Quest. Multiple outlets are reporting that Marvel's interest goes beyond a single cameo. Insiders say the studio is developing Ultron as a multi-project player, not just a nostalgia beat. This shift matters. Ultron isn't just another throwback villain. He's a conceptually flexible threat, an AI that can survive as code, an ideology that can infect systems, and a storytelling device capable of altering how the MCU treats tech, identity, and existential risk. What form will Ultron take this time? Early reporting suggests James Spader will portray Ultron both in CGI and in a human-like form, and the Vision project will introduce other classic AI personalities, like human version of Friday, Jarvis, and Eve, which teases a season that explores the MCU's AI genealogy as much as it revisits Vision's trauma. The return of characters Jocasta and Edith personified signals that Marvel is the emotional father-son between Ultron and Vision, giving them space to unpack the philosophical roots of creation, free will, and what an AI family looks like. The bigger strategic question, why Marvel would bring Ultron into the spotlight now. For one, the perfect contrast to the Kang era. Kang's story revolves around fractured timelines and destiny, while Ultron's story focuses on assimilation and control. He's an enemy who not only travels the multiverse, but also reconfigures it. Reports have even suggested that Ultron could be integrated into larger Phase 6 story arc, which makes sense. An adaptable AI villain can plausibly manipulate timeline, co-op variant, even organize region-scale battle-world scenario through infected technology. Beyond big-picture politics, Ultron's return opens very specific storytelling. Consider the mutant thread and the Young Avengers champions angle. In the comics, Ultron has frequently intersected with mutant narrative, notably created Sentinel and even when he commandeered a version of the Scarlet Witch's power. If the MCU wants to seed a seasoned antagonist who can believably co-opt Sentinel or act as an AI mastermind behind mutant persecution, Ultron checks both boxes. He understands genetics and systems. He can scale from localized attacks to planetary invasion. That makes him a natural bridge into any X-Men/mutant saga, a catalyst for a young Avengers assembly. Kids and next-gen heroes who have to fight a threat and inhabit satellite servers and suits. There's no telling what Ultron's resurgence will do to fan expectation. If Marvel intends to plant him across TV and film, viewers should expect domino teasing. Vision's emotional arc will likely reintroduce the character, followed by mid-credit or post-season scene, pointing to larger set pieces like cameos in a Young Avengers, a mid-battle reveal in an Avengers ensemble, or a tech hijack, laying groundwork for secret. Finally, there's casting, creative character. James Spader's return reassures audiences that Marvel wants the character handled with the same unsettling charisma that made Ultron memorable in 2015. The stakes for his comeback are higher. Ultron must feel more than a recycled monologue generator. He must embody a systemic threat that can believably persist across projects without overshadowing new heroism. Suppose Marvel gives Ultron better scaffolds, a stronger motivation, smarter integration into ongoing plotline, and careful pacing. In that case, he can be both a terrifying antagonist and a connective loom for Phase 6 narrative tapestry. If these reports hold, Ultron's revival could redefine the tone of the MCU in the future. With Kang's multiversal empire in flux and Earth's mightiest heroes scattered, the return of an all-seeing, all-learning machine could unify multiple storylines under one terrifying banner. James Spader's voicing out a trailer with "There Are No Strings" be all it takes to reignite Marvel's darker edge. If Vision Quest truly sets the stage for his resurrection, then Spider-Man: Brand New Day and the next Avengers saga could be looking at a villain who was never gone.
Why?
Unexpected motion has caused the deterioration to escalate.
How do we get in there?
If there's one thing Spider-Man 4 is proving already, that Marvel is far from done surprising them. Between Venom finally crossing into the MCU, the quiet resurrection of Ultron, and an ensemble cast that blurs the line between Sony's and Marvel's universe, this film feels like the bridge between eras. It's fascinating how Spider-Man 4 seems to blend street-level storytelling with cosmic-scale consequence, graceful callback, darker undertone, familiar villains reimagined. This is shaping up to be the most grounded yet thematically complex Spider-Man movie we've ever had. The return of Ultron, in particular, might be Marvel's smartest move in years. It threads the needle between nostalgia and necessity, introducing a villain that represents modern fears, AI, loss of control, the price of human ambition. Combine that with the lingering symbiote from No Way Home, the potential rise of Scorpion Venom, and you get a film that doesn't just tease conflict, but promises evolution for Peter Parker as a character in the MCU's narrative as a whole. Whether this next chapter leads to Secret Wars or gives us the most intense Spider-Man outing yet, it's for sure. Marvel's next phase just got a whole lot darker. We're absolutely here for it. If you're hyped to see where Peter, Venom, and Ultron collide, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next deep dive when the next trailer drops. Also, tell us in the comments your theory for the return of Ultron or Venom crossover.